Hey you guys, what's going on? It's your girl Queen Motivation. If you hear music in the background, do understand that I do not own any copyrights to this music that's playing in the background. Again, as stated before, I just like to have music in the background. It sets the mood and the atmosphere, and it just gives me a sense of peace when there's music playing in the background. It just calms everything around me. And with that being said, let me go ahead and just drop a message. I'll try my best again not to take too long because I know long videos don't get much play because most people want to get a message like this and going on about their next business. A lot of the times we know that positivity messages don't reach too far unless you mad known and everybody know of you, everybody know, like really know you, and you got numbers on the map and people like, oh, I know her, I watch her, I listen to her. That's how you get known. But you got to start somewhere. You got to start from the bottom to reach to the top. Another thing, everything is not going to flow as fast as you want it to flow. So with that being said, you have to be diligent. You have to be consistent. No matter how it looks on the outside, you got to keep going to keep the inside fresh and pure, knowing that everybody is not going to support you, and you have to be okay with knowing that everybody is not going to see you for who you see yourself as. Everybody is not going to represent you how you represent yourself. So with that being said, regardless of the numbers that you see, you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. Everybody started from somewhere. And that's the reason why I want to go ahead and push the message that talks about poorly thinking, thinking poorly, having a poor mindset, and just believing that just because you came from poverty, you got to keep the poverty mindset, making you think that every time something great is happening for you, it's too good to be true. And sometimes you will talk yourself right out of a blessing because you're not used to certain things. You're not used to certain treatment. So when it happens for you or it happened to you, you immediately reject it because, again, you speak that negative thought and say it's too good to be true. When I tell you when something is too good to be true, it's because you worked hard enough and long enough to receive it. You cannot spend the rest of your life with a poor mindset, because when you have a poor mindset, it doesn't just affect you financially, but it affects you physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. Because when you think poor, you act poor, you speak poor, you walk poor. Everything about your life is poor. And when you have adapted a poor mentality, you have poor behaviors, which means your spending habits be poor, your sleeping habits be poor, your eating habits be poor, how you work out and keep yourself physically fit be poor. You walk around with a poor mentality because you automatically adapt to the poor mindset because you've come from poverty. There's a lot of people that walk the exact same road you walk, waking up some mornings not knowing how they was going to eat, waking up some mornings in the dark, waking up some mornings mom, dad not even there, waking up some morning to some traumatizing events. A lot of people have walked down the exact same path. May not have been the exact same time you walked down it, but people have walked down that path of poverty. And there's a lot of people that came from poverty and you would never know that they came from poverty because they decided to switch up the mindset. They didn't want to continue to think poorly. They didn't want to continue to adapt to poor-like behaviors. They didn't want to sleep and eat and think and be poor. So they changed the mindset, the way they thought. You have to think that regardless of what you go through, a poor mindset is not going to get you far at all. Every time you think about how messed up your life was and how you didn't get to enjoy life because of all these problems you had, you're putting yourself in that that negative thinking, that negative way of thinking. You start to believe these habits and you start to act out in these habits. Oh, I ain't never had nothing. I ain't never going to get nothing. I was never nobody, so I'm never going to be anybody. And you start to believe these things. And that's part of a poverty mindset. You're thinking poor. So you create poor habits. The way you spend your money is poorly. You go into stores, you know you can't afford this, you know you can't afford that, but then you got this people image that you got to keep up with. So instead of you being realistic with yourself and believing that, look, I don't need this, you know what I'm saying? This is something that I can do without. But you want to impress people who really don't care about what you got going on. A lot of people talk about you because they know your financial struggle. They know your financial situations. And they sit back and they laugh because they see you making a fool of yourself. because you have a poor mindset. So you go all out and you buy so many different things, spend unnecessary amounts of money, and can't afford the lifestyle that you're trying to live, and you end up falling backwards. You end up behind and owing bills and owing people and climbing up the walls and the mountains and the hills of debt because of that poor mindset. A poor mindset will make you do things in a rich thought pattern. It'll make you think for a second that you're rich because you go out and you buy all these things that you're trying to show off into the world to people that don't care. When your lights are out, these people not coming around, coming together, getting money to help you get your lights back on. They talking about you. Oh, see, that's what happens because she's so busy trying to keep up with the Joneses. She can't even pay her own light bill. She's so busy trying to look good for that man that don't want her. She can't even afford to keep food on her table. Men, oh, he think he all that. He walking around in Jordans. He can't even afford a car. He's sitting up there trying to impress the girl, buying her things of nature. He don't even have his own place. His credit is bad. Her credit is bad. They can't afford this. They can't afford that. It's because you thinking with a poor mindset. You're trying to make people see something that's not really happening. You're trying to make people see an image that you're creating out of a poor mindset. You can't walk around with this poor mindset and expect good things to happen and fall into your place or fall into your favor if you continue to walk around with this poor mindset. I've walked around on so many occasions in my life with a poor mindset. I'm buying things I can't really afford. I'm putting things on layaway. There's nothing wrong with layaway, but listen, if you cannot afford it right then and there, it's probably a chance that you really don't need it. You just want it. Because most of the times when you can afford what you really want, you're going to just go out and buy it. You don't have to set a plan unless it's a thing that you're trying to do to create a different lifestyle or different habit. But if you're just buying bulks of stuff just to say you got it or to make people think that you got it, that's a poor mindset. And that poor mindset always keeps you in the dark. I had a poor mindset. I love buying things and doing things that I know was going to hurt me, but I had an image to carry. I wanted people to think a certain way about me when I know in the back ends, I'm crying, losing my mind, trying to figure out how I'm going to pay this, how I'm going to pay that, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that. That poor mindset. But I told myself that I was going to stop living with a poor mindset and start believing that everything that everybody else get or have, I can do too. I just have to create a different mindset. I can't think poorly because I came from poverty. I can't think that I can't afford something because I can't afford it right now. No, it's not my time. It's not my season to afford what I want to afford right now if I can't afford it. That means go through, get through, figure out whatever I can figure out, do whatever I can, and then go on to the next level. There's absolutely no need for me to invest in poverty or invest in a poor mindset. I can't continue to live my life and want to be in the fruits of richness when I'm living poor, when I'm acting poor, thinking poor, eating poor, sleeping poor, just poorly thinking, creating a lot of poor habits. It's time to break these poor habits. It's time to break this poorly thinking. It's time to recreate and reinvent yourself for the person you are destined to be, not the person that everybody thinks you're supposed to be, or not the person that you're trying to create for everybody who doesn't care if you come or go. A lot of us are creating a lifestyle for people that ain't paying us no mind. We got to keep up with the Jones. We got to get the new iPhones. We barely could afford the one that we got, but we got to get the new iPhones because it came out. Ooh, I got to get the new iPhone because everybody else got it, and I got to be like everybody else. Everybody else's financial situation may be better than yours. Or just maybe they got a poor mindset and they trying to pretend like they got it together. When you try to keep up with other people, sometimes it hurts you more than trying to just keep up with yourself. Keep up with yourself. Stop trying to keep up with everybody else because you don't know what everybody else is going through to even keep the things that they got. You got a lot of people that's in secret competition. So every time you try to do something and you try to buy something, they got a one-up on you. You say, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to go get me a new car. Next thing you know, they done got them a new car. Or if you're talking about something that you're trying to do, that you're trying to accomplish financially, they done jumped the ball on you and they try to accomplish it faster than you and better than you. So they think they're doing it better than you. There's a lot of people that's laughing at you right now. They laughing at your financial situation because they know you're not in the position to do the things that they can do. And you're so busy trying to keep up with them and match them. They laughing at you. They think your situation is funny because they not going through that. They sitting back like, she gotta make payments. I ain't gotta make payments. I can buy my stuff straight out. Oh yeah, she over there hurt. She barely eating. I can go in the store and I can put $400 worth of groceries on the rack and walk out. Oh, she over there trying to get a financial budget. I've been had a financial budget. Oh, she over there trying to save up for something. I already got more money saved up. It's a lot of people that's in competition with you, and you over here trying to keep up with them. And every time you try to keep up with them, they trying to go past you. You're like, hey, how much you saving? What you saving this week? Oh, I'm saving 100. And you're like, oh, okay, good, girl, because I'm saving 150. Now they're going to go save 200 because they're like, I got to save more than her because I can't let this person beat me out. It's a lot of people that's laughing at your downfall, your financial struggle, and you trying to keep up with them. And every time you try to keep up with them, they going past you because they don't want you to keep up with them. They don't want you to catch up with them because if you catch up with them, it's a possibility that you can pass them. There's always somebody who's rooting for you. They want to see you do good, but never better than them. So every time you try to one up on yourself, they trying to one up on you and themselves. Some people will put themselves in a financial bind just to try to keep up past you. They don't want you to climb to the top of that ladder. So every time you get halfway to the top, they ready to knock you down. But you're trying to keep up with these people. Change that poor mindset. Find ways to be healthy. Sleep more. Eat proper. Exercise more. Whatever's going to elevate your mindset and bring it from poverty to prosper, that's what you focus on. Focus on that. That's what's going to separate you from people. Not trying to be like them, not trying to keep up with them, but do something that's going to elevate your mindset and put you in a better position mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and financially. I'm telling you this because I've known how I've walked in the poor mindset. I've known how I've tried to keep up with certain people and certain people trying to run me over so I don't catch up with them. I've walked in my own brokenness because of my poor mindset, my poor way of thinking, not getting rest, not eating how I need to eat, and all that affects you physically, and then mentally, and then emotionally, financially, and spiritually. It all connects. So if you don't find something positive to connect to, you're going to always be your own distraction and be in your own way. So with that being said, disconnect from the poorly thinking. Disconnect from thinking poorly. Disconnect from poor habits, poor sleeping, poor eating, poor spending habits, poor physical attributes. Disconnect from all that stuff and focus on the positive right now. Focus on your right now. Don't focus on your past because that's poor thinking. And don't do too much focusing on your future because you can scare yourself out of your right now by going ahead of yourself, not even knowing what's about to happen, fearing the unknown. Stay out of the land of the unknown and focus on the right now. And let's go ahead from the right now and prepare ourselves to the future. That's the message from today. Queen Motivation signing off. I hope I didn't take too long because, again, I know these kind of messages are hard to listen to because people don't want to listen to a lot of rambling. But at the end of the day, I love you guys. And for those who watch and really participate in my videos, I appreciate you guys. Y'all stay up, stay blessed. Get away from that poor mindset. I love you guys, and I'll see you until next time.